All right, hey everyone, and I guess welcome to my chaotic mess. If you're new here, my name is Melissa, and so for some reason, things just decided they were going to take forever to export today. So, um, we are going to do this live the best way I can. I'm going to be talking to you guys about just a little bit of backstory. I mentioned this in my video that's going to be coming out, I guess, next week now because it's still got 5 hours to export. So, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to kind of take you guys along of that my new thought process of food and where I want to go with it. So, if you guys don't know, I mentioned 1,000,000,000 times about paleo, and I still basically want to follow paleo style food, but I don't want to just do that. Okay. So, oh man, I'm all over the place and I'm sorry. I'm not really good at these like live sit down things cuz when it's not live I can just sit there and do retakes. So, but otherwise we're not going to have a video today, and I wanted to keep with my schedule of Monday and Wednesday. So we're just going to do a live and hope for the best, right? So anyway, I started thinking about just food. Like why is food so bad for us? And if you look at a lot of food products, there are so many like real like bad chemicals in it. Like chemicals you're like wondering how it's even legal to put in our food. And I know it's not just America. I know there's some other countries that deal with this as well, but there are a lot of countries that are a lot more strict than we are. And if you look, they are pretty much a lot healthier than us. So anyway, one of the things I Googled because I didn't want to go back to processed food because food has been processed in some way or another for probably ever. You know, back when the cavemen had food, they buried their meats and stuff like that to preserve it, to help keep it longer. Um, and then they start, later on they use salt and, so they always found a way to make food last longer. So I Googled, I said, Google, I didn't say it that way, but I asked Google, when did we start chemically preserving our food? And it told me 1930s. So I went on a hunt for pre-1930s information, and I came across this book that was like highly recommended for anyone that wanted to basically go back in time. In a sense. So this is called The Early American Cookery. It's from The Good Housekeeper in 1841. So you can imagine what kind of book this is. It's not, that does have some recipes in it, but for the most part, it's The Good Housekeeper. So it's got like on how to preserve and cook your fish, condiments, vegetables, puddings, meats. Like it has a whole chapter on meats and how you should get your cuts done and stuff like that. And and then there's some chapters in here that don't preserve to me. Oh my god. Refer to me, such as mothers. I'm not a mom. So I don't need to read that one. But so yeah, this was recommended to read if you are wanting to go back to a more natural lifestyle where you are cutting out a lot of the chemically processed food. And it's not going to be immediate. Like I said, I'm not going to like throw away the stuff I already have invested money into, because I'm not going to throw money out like that. So I can just tell you, we're going to be more selective about the things we buy and bring into this house. And we are going to be just not bringing as much. That's why I wanted a canner, and I want to learn how to do canning. And I'm saving up to invest in a pressure canner, because a lot of things I've realized need to be pressure canned. So that's something I'm saving up for. I really want an electric pressure canner because it gives me less anxiety, but they're like $400, and I don't know if I can justify that cost. So I'm going to have to just get a stovetop pressure canner and hope for the best. So anyway, this book does come with some recommended cookbooks, and I'm going to have to do a little more research to see if what am I pointing? To see if these are recipes cookbooks from like the 1930s or before the 1930s, I should say. Because as much as I could take today's recipes and try to less process them, I guess, I really just need someone to make it simple for me at first until I get everything down. I have gotten, like I said, I've gotten more selective. Like you'll see in this video that's going to be up next week now, since we're still at 5 hours and 15 minutes apparently for it to export. I found some spaghetti sauce, and it's like there's no chemicals in it whatsoever. It's literally just like tomatoes, onion, basil, oregano. So I don't know. I read the ingredients. I don't remember without going to grab it, but there's nothing unnatural in this. It is canned very organically, and also, just FYI, when people say canning, just if you're not familiar with it, because I know like you can buy stuff in an actual can, but when people talk about canning, it is actually jarred products. So it is just, anyway, the sauce is naturally canned. So I'm going to start looking for things, if I'm buying things at the store like that are natural. Same thing with like my vegetables and stuff. I bought some frozen vegetables. I made sure they were not chemically preserved at all, that they were just blanched and frozen. Because if you're going to freeze your vegetables, that's the best way to do it. Blanch it and freeze it. So anyway, I wanted to just make a video for you guys and kind of explain where my thought process is, and see if anyone else has really thought about things like this, or is it just me that thinks that not only is the medical insurance industry trying to kill us, but the food industry is trying to kill us as well. So I just really start thinking about a lot of things, and I wanted to put that out there and just kind of get my thoughts out on that process, that I want to go. And I guess organic is the more, I want to say natural though, because even organic isn't necessarily natural all the time. I don't know how, I know that sounds stupid, but if you look at some things that are labeled as organic, like I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but it's some of like the canned products. If you go and look and it says organic, but you look at the back, some of it does have chemicals in it. And so you just got to look at how they're being preserved. And I've gotten like, I used to be able to go to the grocery store in and out, and now I'm the one that's sitting there like reading labels, and it sounds so stupid that oh my God. It just, because I used to make fun of people that are like, really, you're going to sit there and read the labels in the store? You should, and then I'm the one sitting there doing it now. And it's like, I should have been doing this years ago. I should have I knew our food was chemically preserved, but then I really got on this thought train. There's a lot more women that are having fertility issues in our time. Yes, they still had fertility issues back in the day, but those were more in my opinion, those were probably more natural infertility issues. Whereas now, I feel like most of our infertility issues come from all the chemicals we are putting in our body because it's not natural for us to consume those chemicals. Anyway, so yeah, that's my thoughts. And I don't know, just interested to see what everyone else thinks. And can you guys even hear me? I just realized that the mic has only got one dot, so hopefully you guys heard everything I just said. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about. But I wanted to kind of get on and so we would have a video and discuss that because yeah, I just thought this part was neat too because we are planning on buying, probably not this year, I don't know, but we're planning on investing in a whole cow, whole hog, not whole cow, half cow, whole hog. But we're going to have to buy a bigger freezer before we can do that. And I just like how it kind of breaks down the cuts, the different sections and the types of cuts that are natural before I don't think there's anything in here that says ground. Obviously, I'm going to have ground meat in the future just because I'm okay for that. Because here's the thing, and a lot of people are against ground meat because it's like the leftovers of all the other cuts. And so they're like, it's bronze. It's not chemically processed, though. It's literally just all these different cuts of meat ground together. So it's like a hot dog, which let's not get started on hot dogs because depending on the hot dogs you buy, some of them are really, really bad for you. So start checking your hot dogs if you like hot dogs. Because I went on a dark rabbit hole of that too because I like hot dogs. And I was shocked that the ones that I normally buy, the little 99-cent pack, is really, really not great. So they have, wow, there's okay. So look, there's a buttock and then there's a mouse buttock on a cow. That's so funny. Ouch. Also, I cut myself yesterday and I don't know how. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So, but not only do they have, they tell you, what you can do with some of the cuts, how to get it cut, if you want a specific cut, or if you want a specific item, what to tell your butcher that you want, because, and they do have recipes in here. So here's a recipe for beef a la mode, which sounds disgusting because isn't a la mode with ice cream? I gotta look at this now. So beef a la mode is take a thick piece of beef, 6-pound what? Take a thick piece of beef, 6 pounds, bone it, beat it well, then put it into a stew pan with some rind of bacon and onion, a bunch of sweet herbs, some cloves, salt, pepper. Pour over the whole quart of water. Let it stew over a slow fire for 4 hours at least. A clean cloth should be placed over the stew pan before the lid is put on, which must be carefully closed. When it's done, strain the gravy through a sieve, clear off the fat, and serve. So where did a la mode come from? I thought that was with ice cream. I don't know. Speaking of, because a lot of the I don't know when actual ovens came out, like electric ranges. I didn't Google that far. But like in the earlier times, it tells you to cook it for 4 hours, cook it for blah, blah, blah. So you got to kind of do like a conversion of some sort. You got to figure out what the temperature of that fire would have been and kind of cook it at that. That's all I can. You're going to have to do some more research if you're going down my life the way I want to go. Unless I get a wood, could I not in a rental, obviously, but I wonder if in my future home are wood stoves, like cooking stoves, legal? Like, can you have them? I know that sounds stupid to ask, but I wonder if you're even allowed to still legally have a wood stove. I know you can have them for like fire, but I'm talking about the actual big old stoves that you throw wood in. It's got a cookery top and everything. Can you still own those? Because I would have one as a secondary, not a main. You know what I mean? Just to have it as a cooking option. So that if I want to be like super legit, Little House on the Prairie, did they even have a wood burning stove then? Oh my God. You know what I mean? So, anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I'd be interested to know. Oh, I don't even know if you guys are. I don't know. Okay. Well, anyway. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think I'm going completely mad, because maybe I am. I don't know. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below whatever questions, concerns. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. I will see you guys Monday most likely, because now we're at 5 hours and 15 minutes. What were we at before? I don't know. Anyway, see you then. Bye.